Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday to you all. Hopefully you're enjoying your weekend, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully having a great day nonetheless. Today marks the beginning of what is going to be, what I am assuming is going to be a very, 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 very long artist deep dive, because we are starting the brand new artist deep dive series. We recently finished the very short Extraordinary Heroes deep dive, or at least for the part of their discography that I wasn't familiar with. Of course, spent the first, couple months of me being back. I think it was like May, June, and parts of July, going through the on and off discography every single week. And now we are about to start the next leg of that deep dive adventure with the boys. About to say the guys from the boys, but the boys. So they are a group that I've known by name only for a very long time. I primarily knew them, and this is rare for me, but I primarily knew them for their off-stage shenanigans, whether it's, V-Live moments or whenever they pop up on like K-pop compilations or TikTok compilations on YouTube. There's usually a good chunk of the boys content in there. And then last year, because I've been listening to their music, at least on the channel, since Roar era, I think, and maybe even that Christmas single before Roar that we got at the end of 2022. But the song that really got me invested in their music was Lip Gloss, and that whole Fantasy Part 1 album. Of course, back then, I'd known them by name for a decent while now. I'd known maybe like 2 of their songs, and Lip Gloss really got me invested in it because that entire album was spectacular. And unfortunately, due to like time constraints and stuff, we haven't been able to really properly dive in with their music since then, with Watch It in Fantasy Part 2 or Nectar in Fantasy Part 3. So, with all that kind of, laid out and established, I knew that they were a group that I wanted to get properly invested in. So what better way to do it than go all the way back to the beginning, back to December of 2017 with their very first EP, their very first debut project, The First. So we're going to run through the entire album. We're going to do an album a week, and this should probably take us to the end of the year, and maybe even past that. I don't know yet, but yeah, we're just going to cover every single The Boys album in order of release from this week on. So welcome for the new Dolbies who haven't been with me before. And let's just enjoy some good music and let's learn us some things, right? So, rolling intro one time. Here we go! I don't know if I actually chose a great time to do the boys content right now, because there's rumors about them trying to find a new label and leaving IST, which kind of came up out of nowhere. Admittedly, I'm not very familiar with their kind of group in general. I'm also not very familiar with what their voices sound like. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to spot New from a mile away, because his voice is one of the most unique voices in all of K-pop, I think. And then Sungyeon in certain applications I should be able to spot, mainly because we'll cover both of their Yumijin Service episodes. Everyone else, though, I should be pretty much in the dark, especially with Hwal, who we only get for a chunk of their discography. And I like to think I know everyone's names and faces up until this point. I reckon, well, just by looking at the cover art for this debut album, the members I have problems with now are Eric and Hyunjae. I don't know why it's taken me a long time to try and get them figured out, but I'm finding it harder to identify them in the newer releases, like especially with Lip Gloss. I really struggled with those two. And then everyone else is just remembering their names. So let's just, we're not going to get names and faces immediately off rip anyways, but let's just send the music one time, because that's what I'm here for. So we get started. Track number 1, simply titled Intro, written by Yoon Jong-sung. And I do have album credits pulled up on the side here off of genius.com. So let's send it one time. There's like a useful kind of sprunkiness to this. It's got a nice calm walking pace to it as well. Nice. You know what, honestly, I'm just gonna let it run to Boy and we'll just talk about everything together. So yeah, so it does immediately connect to their first title track. Very cool. It doesn't have captions. That's okay. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's just the MV starts with that. Okay. Ooh. Oh, this one's got a terrific kick to it. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Get a little floaty with the vocals. Oh, very EDM-y. That was a really nice release. Oh, hello, vocals. Soru, get a little bit of the bra in there, okay. So has Sonu always been kind of main rapper for this group, or is it just that this song just kind of showed off Sonu? I'm getting just so invested in the build that the song has. That's such a pleasing riser that you get in that pre-chorus. That middle section in the chorus, is that Younghoon with the kind of creamy vocals? Sounds terrific on it. Dual high notes, hell yes. I love that it's kind of unashamedly EDM and poppy. I'm so here for it. And it kind of reminds me of early on and off in that regards, that it's just unashamedly EDM-y. Also really interesting to see that certain members really have not changed that much since their debut. Wow. Okay, so that was obviously track number 2, the title track, titled Boy. We didn't read the credits before we were listening to it, but let me read them off real quickly. Written by Sun, Bae Min-soo, Mr. Sonu, and Yoon Jong-sung. Yeah, that's just fun. It's really fun, and I think debuting with a song like this, it's, you know, this is 17, right? Yeah, 2017. So we're looking at like the very tail end of third gen going slowly into fourth gen at this point, right? Like 2018, 2019, we're looking at the tail end of third gen at this point. And thinking about songs like, well, actually, BTS's Run. When did that drop? BTS's Run is 2016. Oh no, Run is 2015. So I guess mid 2010s boy group poppy EDM wasn't inherently like, you know, out of place considering On and Off's Complete very much was, I mean, it's a different direction, but also EDM dance poppy, and I'm referring to them because that's who the last kind of deep dive artist was. But yeah, it's just fun. It's unashamedly fun. There's a brightness to it. There's a pluckiness to it. It's not like the like overly cutesy, youthful boy group pop music that I have a soft spot for. Like, let's see, in the current day and age right now, like last year we had the Wind debut with a song that was just super youthful and bright and borderline cutesy. Even TWS with Plot Twist you can make an argument for. But like they went high energy, just unashamedly, not holding back. Boom. We're gonna start with a party. And honestly, I'm so here for it. Is I do still see certain elements of the BOYZ' music nowadays that I can trace back to this song from 7 years ago. Math, yes, almost 7 years ago. And I think that's really cool. Like the skill set of the members themselves, I think, have like what we're seeing now obviously is just an evolution of what we got here, but now that I know where like everything started, I can kind of start to maybe piece together is the wrong word for it, but start to kind of establish where and how they got to where they are now with the most recent title tracks like Gibberish and Nectar. That's really cool. And I think the one standout thing already, actually two standout things, is vocally, this group really came out of the woodwork like pretty swinging, and it's not just like the main vocal members getting their chance to shine, so like New and Sangyeon, but everyone really has a big vocal presence in this group, and with a group that's got this many members in it, admittedly, you know, they're down a member because of Huala, but I just think that's really cool. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, but the other point, I am still struggling to figure out like names to faces for certain members. Like I think Ju Haknyeon is the one that I always just forgot the name of because his name is quite long and kind of difficult to remember. But like facially, I feel like I can recognize him now. Eric and Hyunjae, I just cannot get like immediately because they just look similar to me. And I reckon later down the road, once I figure out who's who, it's gonna be so obvious, and I'm gonna wonder why I couldn't get them earlier. But interesting. I like the song though, and it's one that I hadn't heard of before, so it's exactly what I wanted to accomplish from this journey. But we have to keep moving because this is track number 3, Walkin In Time, written by OV, Oh Min Sok, and Primer. Oh, Primary's on this song. Oh, very cool. Okay, it is in 4. Interesting, following up a song like Boy with Walkin' In Time that's just so mellow and slow. I love the mix for this. Oh my goodness. Just the reverb and the echoey, huge soundscape you get is absolutely dreamy. Then into vocal chops for the chorus is an interesting choice. You get that bass continuing the instrumental melody, and then letting vocal chops just take the vocal part.
모든 게 변해가 있어 예전과 same thing 네 손을 놓던 그때부터 난 standing right here 시계 바늘은 나를 붙잡지 되려 뒤로 밀려가는 느낌 새 옷을 꺼내 또 입어봐도
Very subtly that Sonu verse is transforming into a melodic part at the end. That's cool.
같은 곳에 같은 너를 난 아직 찾고 있어
But yeah, it's such a dreamy song. Especially with all the background harmonies going on there too. How they've managed to find more space to let this song grow into, I have no idea, but it just got even wider. So is that first chorus the only time we get the vocal chops then? Oh no, we got the vocal chops back. It's just this time it's incorporated into the vocal chorus. Feel the reverb going on. Oh, back to reverb now. Oh! Yeah, that was a very artsy song, wasn't it? Also, look at the length of that. How long is this song in actuality? Hold on. Spotify, what is the actual runtime of the song? Because that was, first of all, it was freaking gorgeous. I love a sappy song like this. It's not the exact same as like my beloved power ballads and so on and so forth, but there is a certain beauty to that song that is so nice. Walking in Time, oh, it's literally 5 minutes long. Can you believe that? A pop group dropping a 5-minute song as a B-side. Even K-bands don't drop a 5-minute song nowadays. But I see on Genius there's a little blurb about the song, so I'm gonna read it very quickly. Actually, you know what? Let's pull it up on this screen so you can see it. Walking in Time with different sensibility. Pleasure breakup with a loved one. I know this is only like one other song that I can kind of refer to, but I feel like the boys, I like the fact that they're not afraid of telling a story through the camera on their MVs. So I know this isn't a title track, this is a B-side, but just like looking at the description of that and thinking back to other The Boys songs that I've watched and listened to reminds me of the MV for Nectar. You know, that dropped right around, well, it was like the end of March, beginning of April, right? Like graduation time for us in East Asia. And that had a terrifically like gorgeous story that goes behind it. And Walkin' in Time kind of feels like it hits the same kind of nail, so to speak. And I think that's really cool. Oh, excuse me. I think that's really cool. The fact that they're not just, you know, really talented musicians and singers and performers, but they're also really talented storytellers as well. And the fact that they've consistently had, well, I don't know if it's consistent or not, but, you know, they started off, this is their debut EP, mind you. So even from their debut, they had a visual team and like an MV team that knew how to portray the story. And I think that's a very powerful tool they have. Because one thing is for certain, with Nectar, they definitely still have that storytelling ability and that story team around them. That's super cool. Oh, I am very much surprised at just how kind of sappy and almost somber of a song that we got immediately following Boy. I think that really allows for whatever the last two songs on the album are to really kind of go anywhere they want. Because it's almost like Walking in Time is a palate cleanser, so to speak. Because, you know, we're riding off the high, on the back of the high, off of Boy. And then, boom, Walking in Time just immediately drops it down. Now it's like, we've got It, and I'm Your Boy left. That kind of allows Got It to go anywhere it wants now. So let's figure out where it's going to take us. Track number 4, Got It. Written by One of One, Nosy, Primary, and... oh, Becca Boom is on here. Wow. Primary and Becca Boom. Okay. Firm snaps.
요샌 또 뭐가 유행이야 또 지나가게 뻔하잖아
Hello, synthesizer.
난 똑같은 건 지루해 그냥 나답게 살아가 널 대할 때도 나 달라
Oh,
뭔가 좀 특별해
hello, vocal sauce.
이런 건 처음 볼걸
Yeah, all the vocal sauce.
날 지켜봐 새로운 걸 보여줄 테니 가슴을 태워줄 생각을 깨워줄 널 위한 준비가 끝난 건
Oh, oh, it's a firmer chorus. Okay.
Man,
that 808 was firm in the background. Like, you can really feel it. But even on like a kind of quirky and plucky but also low-loaded song like this, they're not afraid of stacking the vocals on the top end. Yeah, it's like they reserved the heavy low end just for the chorus. And like that is a low 808 too. It's almost like subharmonic bass. Again, kind of crossing over between rap focused and vocal focused flows. Is there more instrumentals going on here? Because that 808 does not feel as prominent anymore. And another decently like 3 minutes 40. Oh my goodness. That was not the direction I expected them to take following Walkin In Time, right? But admittedly, I had no idea what we were going to get after Walkin In Time anyway, so that point doesn't really stand. Got it. There you saw. Has a certain kind of swag to it that's... It kind of has DJF attitude to it, or at least for me. And that's kind of cool. It's like we got the... You know, the energetic, useful vibe from Boy. We got the kind of angsty teenage romance section of Walkin' In Time, and now we've got like rebellious teenager and Got It. And I think that the fact that it kind of is, once again, we're going back to the whole storytelling thing, where it kind of feels like we're getting the full teenage experience in one album essentially, and I think that's really cool as well. It's... Yeah, I like Got It definitely takes you a little bit on a journey musically, especially with just how punchy it gets in the chorus, but punchy specifically in like the very bottom of the low end of the song. Because when you listen to a trap beat or an EDM beat, you can, whenever you've got a nice heavy deep bass section, more than likely you're able to like hear it, you're able to feel it because it's loud enough. But the bass in Got It is so low, whether it's on like the musical scale or whether it's volume wise, you feel it rather than hearing it. And maybe it's because I've got IEMs in, but there is a certain punch that 808 gives that's unlike many bass lines that you get in pop now, just because this bass line is so low. And I love the kind of out of the box stuff, like subharmonic basses and things like that. But then again, you have a very bottom loaded song, but vocally it's a very multi-layered vocal top line. And I guess when you have a group that's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 members in it, yeah, why not take advantage of those numbers and get some really rich vocal lines in? I like that. I like the fact that they're not afraid of doing some vocally complex stuff like this. And one final MV, because track number 6 is the instrumental track, and while I'm thankful that it's there, we're not going to listen to it because it's just an instrumental track. So, track number 5, I'm Your Boy, written by Yoon Jong-sun alongside all of the members. And by the little blurb that I can see on Genius, we've got a fan song as the finale on the debut album. Very cool. Whoa! Oh wow, it's really smooth. can also pack a punch in certain places.
하루하루 날이 지날 때마다 너에 대한 생각이 더 많아져 심장이 점점 빨리 뛰어만 가고
Let's bump up the volume for you guys a little bit. I knew. I know this is meant to be a fan song, and I don't know if it's like the timing of the year. Oh, vocal slide. Is that while on the rap duties? Oh, hello, Mr. Sonu. Oh, get a little melody involved. I forgot what I was gonna say now. I got so distracted by the slide. Oh yeah, I don't know if it's the time of year or what, but this feels very Christmassy to me. It's got like a prettiness and a smoothness that you'd expect from like a Christmassy song. That is so filthy clean. What? I know that's an oxymoron, but bear with me, right? That slide was so long. Oh my goodness. I love that. That takes a lot of like guts to pull that off so clean every single time. It's like soulful what they're doing here. Bruh. Who gave them permission to do that? Who gave them the permission to do something so saucy? Oh my goodness. Yeah, like that point I made and got it where if you've got a group of 12 vocally capable artists, then flex the vocals. It definitely flex the vocals one time. And it's, oh my goodness. It still does give off Christmassy vibes though. And, you know, it is meant to be like a thankful song. And that is something that's very akin to what the Christmas sensation is, but the fact of like this album being released in the beginning, at least in the first week of December, and getting like all of the vocal sauce like that, I can't help but just feel like it's a Christmas song. And I mean, obviously nothing wrong with that, but it feels like a 2-in-1 song, and I think that's very clever. But that's something different. That is something very different indeed. It's very tastefully done too. I knew they could sing, but I was not ready for that. I was not ready for them to just ball out and go full vocal sauce. And sure, like in verse 2, we got rap sections from Hwal and Sonu. But there is just, oh man. And it's the fact that it's everyone. It's not just the main vocal guys that's delivering the vocal sauce. It's everyone bringing the vocal sauce. And it's like an unashamedly high amount of vocal sauce. And considering like this is a way of saying thank you for the debut, that's a pretty impactful fan song to finish on. And it's extremely mellow. Like, with me and the boys, admittedly, I had a limited amount of knowledge as to what their music was, and just based off of pattern-wise, because my first release with them was Roar. So we went, Roar into Lip Gloss, into Watch It, into Nectar. So we're in that back and forth stage. We get one Bright release, one hard hitting release. Except we started with the hard hitting release. Then when Bright was Lip Gloss, went hard punchy with Watch It, and then we went a little bit brighter with Nectar again. And that's, and also the only B-sides I know from the boys are from that Fantasy Part 1 Christmas in August album. So I'm not used to hearing this side of the boys. And I feel like on this album alone, we got a lot of sauce. The fact that, like, this is what they debuted with, this feels like a really mature sound for a debuting boy group. Because usually I feel like debuting boy groups just go generally with, like, that bright, youthful, cutesy sounding type of music. We just got more mature, like, they are going with this sound that is very mature for, being a debuting group. And I think that's very impressive. Because they for sure pull it off. Wow. That's kind of knocked me flat on my ass a little bit, because I was obviously not expecting them to just full-on sauce it like this, but I'm not going to complain too much because that was a terrific experience. And I like the fact that we finally got the ball rolling. Now we have established the base point for this group. The only place to go is to move forward, and we're gonna go, each album in order is gonna allow me to, one, learn the members, because I think by face I should be more comfortable as we progress through, but also by voice too. I want to be able to spot what they sound like just by ear, but also see the improvement, because naturally you're going to improve as you pump out more and more music. And with the boys, because I'm familiar with their most recent stuff, I know what they sound like now. But to compare it to what they sound like way back when they debuted, I can already hear that kind of, not increase in ability, but they sound more comfortable behind the mic. They sound more gelled together, and that's natural, having, doing the whole singing thing for coming up to 7 years. But yeah, I'm really excited to kind of go on this journey, because I've always liked them from a non-musical point of view, but now I'm going to be able to appreciate them from a musical point of view as well. So next week, barring we don't have like any big sudden kind of scheduling things on my end, because admittedly I am just doing this for fun, and if I have an IRL thing I need to attend to, whether that's school, extra research, site visit, what have you, that takes priority, so we may take Sundays off. But next week we'll go with the mini album The Start, with songs like Giddy Up, Text Me Back on it. We'll move into The Sphere, The Only, Bloom Bloom, which I'm really excited to get into, because Bloom Bloom has my favorite The Boys song, Full Stop, on it. Dreamlike, after Dreamlike we'll have a little bit of a talk, especially because we'll start heading the Japanese discographies at that point, and we'll figure that out when we get there. But there's a lot of music to get through. Hold on, let's actually do some maths here. You know what? Here's Spotify. So we covered one album. So The Start is next week. The Sphere, The Only, Bloom Bloom, Dreamlike. We'll throw Tattoo in there as well. I don't know what we'll do for the special Christmas singles. We may leave those for the end. Reveal makes 7. Road to Kingdom we'll consider for later. Got Chase. OSTs we'll also consider later. Breaking Dawn, I believe, is a Japanese album. Thrilling, Maverick. This is also, I believe, a Japanese release. Be Aware. Be Awake. Christmas in August we've already listened to, so we won't cover it. Sixth Sense, Love Letter, and, well, Gibberish is also another Japanese release. So that means we have 14, just on Korean discography alone, we have 14 albums to get through. And I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 Sundays left until next year. This will, like, the boys and their discography will literally take us through the entire year. Oh my goodness, we've got a long ways to go and a lot of music to cover, but I reckon I'm going to enjoy it because I've really enjoyed whatever we've gotten from the boys so far, and I hope that continues moving forward. So, for those of you who are going to be tagging along on this journey, welcome aboard. I look forward to seeing you back next week for whenever we catch the rest of the, or whenever we start moving on with the rest of these albums. I am going to go and do some learning. As for some of the members, you know, we'll check out guides and stuff in my free time and continue to watch the TikTok and reality content and stuff like that. So hopefully by next week, I'll be a little bit more comfortable with members and sound and stuff like that. But I'd say this was a very good starting point to my adventure to becoming a proper Dobby. So thank you all for watching along and listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be, you know, checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day today. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.